What is the craziest thing you have done confessed while playing Truth or Dare? What were its consequences? My friend dared me to lick the bottom of her shoe. I licked the bottom of a shoe. In like 2nd grade on the bus, my friends dared me to whip out my dong, so as a natural 2nd grader who won't back down to a dare, I did it. Well, the bus driver somehow noticed, had to go to the principal's office to hear about how those are your private parts and shouldn't be shown to everyone. PSH, I whip out my dong when I please, Mr. Principal. I put a Dorito in my butt, it hurt a little. My best friend ended up having a threesome with his prom date and our other friend's prom date. We don't play Truth or Dare anymore. I once had a threesome. It was awful. I had to beg a guy I liked to have sex with me. He came out a year later. No wonder he didn't go for it. I did helicopter dong in front of a PS2I, dared by a cute girl who went to my school. We dated for a summer after that. When I was about 11 or 12, I was playing Truth or Dare, Curious Preteen Edition with a few guys and girls. Obviously it was guys versus girls, and it was pretty much all dares, and one of the girls dared me to pee standing up in front of them so they could see it happen. I did so without hesitation. I then dared her to do the same thing. Consequences: pee all over the floor and a peeing fetish. I was 14. I dared a girl to kiss my friend, who he had a crush on. After they kissed, I was expecting my friend to dare something similar to a girl he knew I liked. Instead he dared me to switch underwear with her bra and panties. She was disgusted, as were all her friends, and they called the game off. I was totally game though. I was dared to run through my grandmother's house around midnight butt naked. My aunt happened to be sleeping on the couch. Luckily, she didn't wake up and my aunt is deaf, so I just had to step very lightly. You also could have stomped around as loudly as possible seeing as she is deaf. Senior year in high school, I confessed to having a threesome with my ex-boyfriend and my best friend. For the rest of the year, everyone sang that Make It Clap song by Busta Rhymes when I entered the room. You know, because W have the clap. They broke the rules of Todd. I've run Toddle.com, online Truth or Dare game, for about 10 years now, and while I can't tell you what the craziest thing we've seen is, I can tell you with certainty that the most popular dare that people submit is to swap clothes with someone of the opposite sex. We receive this submission at least 3 times a day. Number 1 truth question submitted is something akin to who is your secret crush. Interestingly enough, while the dares tend to become more risque as ages increase, the truths have similar themes across all age groups: insecurities, secret desires, and regret. If you assume, as I do, that the game is often a way to justify or rationalize a taboo behavior, I can tell you with authority that we are pretty freaky people across all ages and demographics, and the UK Oz people tend to be the freakiest, at least on Toddle. The entire site has been a fascinating study in human psychology and statistics. I really need to write a book sometime. I was dared to lick the nipple of my girlfriend at the time's roommate. It was kinda weird. Everyone was pretty uncomfortable, and I was afraid I was going to get in a crap load of trouble for actually going through with it. BTW, we were playing a custom made Truth or Dare Jenga, so no one in the room dared me. It was the dare on the block. Then later we all got even more drunk and went streaking. Pretty sure everyone forgot about the nipple thing by that point, so I'd say it was a pretty dang fun night. I ate a spoonful of Vegemite. I am neither Australian, nor had I tasted Vegemite before, but I still took that spoonful straight-faced. Everything tasted of the sea for the next 4 hours. Kissed a girl that turned out to be my future stepsister. Apparently this is common, according to the top comments. Just moved to a small town. Went to a new friend's birthday party. She invites me and another girl to stay the night. We giggle and talk, and are laying in bed pretending to sleep because her mom is in the next room. Truth or Dare happens. Birthday girl dares other girl to kiss me. Long story short, small town girls are bored, and they are naughty. I enjoyed that sleepover a whole lot. Long story short, please make the long story long. Long story short, dude was dared to shove ice cubes in his pants. I was dared to eat them. I did. Playing a game called Never, where one person says something they've never done, and if you have done it you drink. So it starts off with shoplifting and drugs, and rapidly descends into sexual depravity. So someone says, never have I ever had a threesome. I'm the only person to drink. Next person says, never have I ever had a threesome with 2 girls 1 guy. Everyone is looking at me because this is obviously just to get more info. So it continues until I have admitted a 2F 1M, a 2M 1F and a 3F. Clever bastards. I was dared to kiss this chick I hate. I was torn between enjoying the kiss with a girl and hating the girl. I was dared to kiss my best friend when we were 13. I did it and it instantly hit me that I liked guys. I still tease him about being gayer than me because he turned me gay. I feel like this should warrant a throwaway, but frick it. I was a freshman in college. I was really shy and somewhat sexually inexperienced. It was Halloween and we were playing TOD up in this girl's bedroom with someone who I was sort of seeing who actually ended up being my fiance years later today. So at first, we had a pretty large group of about 10 people and the dares were pretty tame. I was dared to kiss the girl whose bedroom it was. Whatever. I had always been a little curious about girls. Anyway, as the night progressed, everyone got naked and everyone left until there were just 4 of us left. All of us friends. Myso, another girl, myself, and another of our male friends. The girl and the guy were trying desperately to get rid of Myso. I found out in hindsight they were interested in having a threesome, and while they were good friends with Myso, they had no freaking idea who he was because he was dressed as old Greg and I did his makeup really well. So he ends up staying. The dares turn more and more risque and we all end up having an orgy, which was fine by me. And then the other girl starts beating the crap out of me out of nowhere and the others sort of start dominating me and I just sort of go with it because everyone else was so enthusiastic about it. I guess it's hot in retrospect, but it sorta hurt. Dared a girl to walk naked across the parking lot of our apartment complex. She did it only wearing high heels. When she got back from her trip, a neighbor who had apparently been outside smoking asked if he could join the awesome party. Still one of the sexiest things I have ever seen. Somewhat similar to Truth or Dare, we were playing Never Have I Ever at a party. It's that game where you say something you've never done and anyone who's done it has to have a drink, which inevitably always leads to sexual conquests. At this particular party, one of the younger girls, 19, mentioned that she had never had sex to spite us into all having a drink. The interesting thing was though that one of our friends, 23, didn't take a sip along with everyone else. We'd never really talked about it with him before, but we all assumed since he had girlfriends that he was just as regular as us folk. Guess not. Of course we immediately made jokes about the 2 of them should go get it over with upstairs, and much to our surprise she got up, grabbed his hand and took him to the spare room. After a little while he just comes down with a grin on his face. We'd stopped playing the game by this stage, but he declares I've never had sex and finishes his drink in 1 sip. We were all pretty impressed. They started dating after that, but we found out from her some time later they didn't actually have sex, just fooled around a bit. I like to think she was just being modest. While the action itself on a dare wasn't crazy, I found out that if you French kiss a stranger for 60 seconds in a hotel room during a Star Trek convention marathon long Truth or Dare, he stalks you for the next 3 months. Was dared to kiss a dude. By the way, I'm a straight dude. Did it without hesitation. Shortly after, a girl made out with me claiming I needed to be balanced out. I regret nothing. Straight dude. I'm a tributary lass, myself. Well, I was dared to smoke a cigarette and now I have crappy lungs cause I couldn't quit. I dare you to quit smoking. A friend brought this girl over that he just started dating. A couple of us knew her and knew she was a little bit loose. So during Truth someone asks her if she's ever had a guy stick a finger in her butt. When she acknowledges this, I see a look of horror on my friend's face, and then he blurts out, "How many knuckles?" I bet he used this knowledge to his advantage later though. Theater interview. Pretty small time. I work on the tech end, so there weren't any auditions or anything like that. I knew that the chick asking the questions and she was a good friend of mine, so I was pretty much set. So, I come in, lean back in an office chair nonchalantly and hammer away the questions. There were 2 other people, an Asian guy staring off into space and an old guy who was typing away. We come to the question that she just threw in, do you greet people with kisses, and naturally I said yes. Then, The Asian jumps up and yells "Ha balls, I dare you." Then I walked up to him, kissed him, sat back down, and it went on. Still got the job, and the guy I kissed was our sound engineer. I applied for lighting board op and we worked together. Pretty cool guy. Was dared to kiss the prettiest girl in the room. Kissed Emma Watson instead of my girlfriend. Oh god, why? I also saw perks of being a wallflower. Was dared to strip naked, run down a quarter-mile of highway at about midnight in mid-December in Ohio. Did I about had my toes frostbitten off by the time I got back, and my penis was trying to find a way to hide in my butthole by retracting backwards through my pelvis. I dared all the girls, hundreds of them, to have sex with me. They totally did. It was awesome. I'm awesome. This guy sounds awesome. A few years back, me and some friends I was in a band with went over to the apartment of a girl I knew and her roommate, who turns out to be a total W. Not that it's related, but it explains why 6 adults all over the age of 21 ended up playing Truth or Dare and got to playing. Rules were everyone had to pick Dare at least 50% of the time, and you could opt out of Dares, but had to lose an article of clothing to do so. Everyone had the same amount of articles. 4 guys all had hats, so it balanced out the bra thing. Anyways, we are mid-game, drunk. Tons of raunchy crap has happened and both girls are in their underwear, one braless, and I am the only guy that still has pants. We get a knock on the door. It's the apartment security guy. We check the peephole and it's this large black dude we've gotten warnings from before. Without hesitation, it's my turn. I dare Nicole, girl I know, to answer the door. Fully opened, dressed how she is. She essentially has no choice, because if she declines, we all get to see her amazingly huge awesome boobs, and still has to answer the door as it's quite obvious we are home. She does it. Security guy is speechless. Jaw on the floor, completely perplexed. To break the silence I just ask, want a beat? Guy comes back 10 minutes later through the back door out of uniform. Comes in, has a few beers, and to top it off comes up with Dare so awesome that both girls end up completely naked. I got to run the train on my huge boobed friend later that night. My buddy, who hasn't been laid in over a year, broke his slump the W roommate and proceeded to get bass player pre-show BJs at every show she came to, which was 2, but still. And the black security dude got a 3-way makeout with 2 naked chicks, free beer, and never bothered us again. Successful night. Oh, and in case anyone is curious, the 2 other bandmates both had girlfriends and ended up crashing together on the tiny couch. We found them cuddled together in the morning, and somewhere there is a crazy W acquaintance with an amazingly hilarious picture of it. I drank some sunscreen. Come to think of it, they were actually daring me not to do it because I was pretty drunk at the time. We weren't even playing Truth or Dare, I was just drunk and wanted to drink some sunscreen. I'm awesome. You've been visited by the toothpaste man for good teeth and fresh breath. Comment oh fresh. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check out another video, or don't. Either way, have a great day you magnificent people.